I have Grammy nominated Matt Munsey with the band Monroeville. Hey, Matt.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. So I like the backdrop. Your backdrop looks a lot better than mine. So is
Yeah,
that
this is my studio.
that's pretty awesome. That's
Yeah,
really
yeah, I've
awesome.
got a fully functional recording studio I built on my property, so that's where I'm at right now.
Nice. So you and the band Monroeville are going to be performing at the Stables Event Center July 11th. Doors open at 6, concert at 7. You can get tickets right now on Eventbrite. So talk about the band. For those that aren't familiar with Monroeville, what should they expect?
Yeah, Monroeville, it's hard to describe because I mean we play bluegrass instruments, so that kind of gives you an idea, and we do some like bluegrass, but I mean we cover the whole spectrum, that goes anywhere from folk to blues to R&B and soul. One of my vocalists, he's from Valdosta, Georgia, so he's got a lot of soul in him, and he just likes all the old stuff. So it's liable anything to come out. Lots of original, but lots of stuff.
So talk a little bit about the band. How did the band get started? How did you guys all come together? Tell me the roots, the how it all began.
Yeah, so the band actually started formed in 2010. We were all part of another band. The band that I got my Grammy nomination in was a gospel band called Second Wind, and I was like the band leader there. So I hired all the guys. I didn't own the band. It was a guy named Barry Scott, very amazing vocalist, and so we did that for a few years together. I had hired all these guys into the band. The band was going really good, got the Grammy nomination. And then just things, personal issues and things between us and Barry kind of came up. So we said, why don't we just start our own band? So we brought in a couple of guys from another band and formed a 5-piece group. Actually, it was a 6-piece group. Had a dobro player at the time, and that original lineup went into the studio late 2010. We put out our first single and officially launched the band that year in early 2011. And then immediately, you know how bands are, things start to change. People start to leave. Our guitar player left about a year into that, and he's actually with Post Malone now, so he's done really well for himself. And it's just been a series of different people that have come through the band to the lineup that we have now, 16 years later, which is phenomenal lineup, and we're just having a blast, doing what we do. Played a lot of house gigs over the years. Yeah, that's been kind of our bread and butter.
Nice. What do you think is probably your biggest performance, or like what I guess which performance do you think is the biggest for the band?
Yeah, I mean, definitely would be when we sang the national anthem for the NASCAR race in Bristol Motor Speedway. Having a jet fly, not just a jet, like multiple jets flying over and 100,000 people, plus millions on television. That was definitely a highlight right there. And it's on YouTube, which is really cool. You can actually see us singing at the Bristol Motor Speedway, and then we went out and played in the parking lot. So that was a really cool show. We've done a lot of shows over the years, thousands. I would even venture to say that we've played more than probably most bands out there because we've done it every day for the whole 16 years. It's been every day.
Wow, that's impressive. So when the Jets flew over, when you sang the national anthem at Bristol, did they fly over right at the end, or did they fly
Yes,
right? Okay, because sometimes the timing isn't always. I mean, they try the best they can, but
they
sometimes I feel like it kind of like comes over right at the last line of the national anthem, and if you're not expecting, you're like, oh, what they fly over.
was my first time doing it at this scale, and the director asked us before we did it, like, how long is it? And we like, okay, we went through it, and going back, we actually had some criticisms because people watch these and they always like to criticize them, and I get it. We kind of actually did it too slow, so I'm actually really amazed that it ended up like it did because the flyover happens over the crescendo of the last we did this whole long thing, and our tenor singer's like got veins bulging out of his forehead because we're just singing so loud and the jets are going. I don't know how they timed it out, but they did get it right. Even with the slow performance that we had, it was pretty funny, but it was great. It was a cool experience.
That's awesome. Now, back in February of this year, SkyLand Ranch suffered a fire, and I know that's a place kind of near and dear to your guys' hearts. So, how has it been since that fire for you guys to kind
Yeah,
of rebuild?
it's a big readjustment. The first 2 years of this band, we were a touring band, and we hit like all the really big stuff. We were doing really well in the bluegrass market and the jam band. We were in Colorado, hit all the big stuff. And then about 2011, right after we had started the band, they opened up the Moonshine Distillery in Gatlinburg. So we started just playing there and still touring. And then we just kind of just played there. So for years, 13 years, that was our gig. And then we started like playing Dollywood and all the other like really cool venues around the Smoky Mountains because we all lived here. And then in 2021, SkyLand Ranch opened up and they hired us in right at the beginning of it. And there was already a world champion banjo player, one of our friends. His name was Gary Biscuit Davis. And he played with Dolly. So he was already there. And so we came in and we kind of left all of our stuff that year in 21 and 22 is kind of when we migrated over there. And we just started playing 7 days a week for them. And for, 3 or 4 years, that's what we did. And we loved it there because, we left all of our stuff there. We didn't have to load in, load out. We just walked in every day and played. And, sometimes it was two of us. And, some of the other guys would have the day off. And, everybody got to work like 5 days a week, very consistently, very good money. And then fast forward to this year, they just had some freak, charger kind of thing go off, walkie-talkie charger or something like that. And it just took the whole place down at the top where all of our stuff was. There was like two barns and a courtyard and some breezeways that connected those. And our stage was under one of those breezeways playing in the courtyard. And all of our gear and stuff that we had stored just got burned up, lost like 3 or 4 instruments, valuable instruments that we had up there. So it was a big disaster and a big change for us because, now it's forcing us to find work because all my guys are hired in full time. Like, this is what we've done every day. So now everybody's kind of readjusting immediately. Everybody's just like finding other things to fill in the time. And then we're just working on our marketing and our new music because we hadn't recorded even any new music. So we've written a lot of songs over the last few months. We're recording them, getting all the press and social media back rocking and rolling and just booking. And, who knows if they rebuild, we may not even go back. We may just say, okay, that was a good season. Now we just want to hit the road more.
Right, 'cause that was my question. If they plan on rebuilding, if you guys decide to go back, but yeah, I can.
I mean, they don't tell me anything. I've heard they are rebuilding and they've got bigger plans. I don't know if they've got us in those plans. They haven't said anything about that. So who knows? I'm assuming they will call eventually. It may take another year from now because, as far as I know, they're still working on like the final, report of all of it. The insurance settlement's got to be huge because this is a tens of millions of dollar theme park in Gatlinburg Pigeon Forge. So it's a big deal. So there's a lot there to go through. I had insurance on my stuff, so that was good. But some of the other guys, we're all contractors, so we're not employees anywhere that we work. And some of those guys didn't have insurance, so they've done like fundraisers and stuff to try to replace some of the things, and they've done pretty good with all that. So we're kind of back into operational mode. We're just having to just find bookings and book our own shows like we are at the stables, right?
That's right, coming up on July 11th. So, have you guys been to Lafayette before?
Yeah, this will be our like third or fourth time.
Okay, that's what I thought. I feel like you guys have been to Lafayette before. So, I guess coming back to Lafayette, when was the last time you were in Lafayette?
It's been at least like maybe 22, 21. It's been a while because once we started at Skyland, we were doing so well there, we didn't do anything. Before that, we were working at the Old Smoky Moonshine, which kind of, it was a good gig, but it wasn't that much money. So we would do other stuff. But Skyland kind of took us, we just kind of let all that stuff go and just stayed there. So, immediately when the fire happened, I just started calling my contacts. Hey, let's book a show. And the Bonds, the ones that own and run the stables, have been coming to see us in Gatlinburg for years. So they had been bringing us up already and doing shows up there, and we've had so many fun times already. So we're just getting the word out, trying to. Yeah, people are so busy; it's hard to get them locked in for something. But we got a couple of weeks now, so hopefully we can get get some people that are last minute planning. Get your tickets. Come on.
That's right. Get them at eventbrite.com. Obviously, you can follow the band on social media. I know the Stables has already got a event set up for it on Facebook already. So when you come to Lafayette, what's kind of your favorite place or places to go in town when you're here?
You know, we've always just kind of come in and come out. The last time I was there, trying to remember, we stayed downtown one time, and it was really cool. The first time we came, they got us rooms like really like in a nice like Hyatt or something downtown, and that was really cool. Um, and I really appreciated like the fact that the university's right there, just up the road, downtown and everything. So that was really cool seeing all that. Purdue, right?
Hmm.
Yeah. So it's been a while since we've been back. I think most of the other stuff that we did when we came into town, it was just in and out, so we didn't get to enjoy it as much. So, you got any recommendations?
Well, hopefully you do get to. Downtown is actually great. Downtown Lafayette. I mean, lots of great restaurants, bars. The nightlife is really great downtown. Main Street. Down around there. Of course, if the students aren't in session at Purdue, I mean, we're obviously the kids aren't or students aren't there, but I mean, even just kind of taking a chance if you can to walk through the campus during the day, and kind of see some of the sights and what people talk about. But campus has changed a lot. And if you happen to go across the Wabash into West Lafayette, you're going to notice a huge change because even when you were last here, back just a few years ago, it has changed so much. So your eyes are going to get about this big. You're like, whoa, wait, this wasn't here when we were here. What happened? What'd you guys do?
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, we definitely need to check it out because I think we're rolling in Friday night. We're playing Saturday, and then probably not leaving till Sunday morning. So, it should be pretty cool. We'll get to go maybe swing by downtown, check it all out again. Of course, the Stables is kind of like outside of town just a little bit.
Yeah, it
So,
is a bit. But yeah, if you get a chance to go to downtown, that's kind of the hot spot if you're looking to kind of unwind and just kind of hang out. That's probably the best place. And there's some, of course, other places around. You got Nine Irish Brothers, on the west side, and of course in Lafayette. But yeah, it's it's definitely it's a small town, but almost kind of feels like a big city, in some
yeah,
ways.
I do kind of remember that because where we stayed at downtown the first time we came, we could just walk around to get breakfast and stuff. Like, I really just liked the vibe of it. It was really cool.
Yeah. Well, they're going to be here, Monroeville, July 11th, the Stables Event Center. Matt, we look forward. How can people, of course, they can go to your websites, follow social media. So if they
Yeah.
don't catch you in Lafayette, where's some other places you guys generally kind of go and tour that you can kind of have? Do you have any dates laid out in the
Yeah,
future?
yeah, we got some things working on later this year in Florida a lot because we're working with a promoter down there that has about 8 or 10 festivals and shows that he does down there. So we're going to be hitting some of those up. We're really working on 27. You can catch us still here in the Smokies at we went back to the Moonshine Distillery to pick up a few shows here and there. So every week or so we're doing a couple of days for them, so a few shows a month there at the Old Smoky, and they've got multiple locations in Pigeon Forge and Gatlinburg, so if you're in either one of those you might catch us. But yeah, you can find us, obviously monroevilleband.com, but we keep our Facebook kind of mostly populated with that stuff, so our Facebook events is like usually the best place to see our schedule. And of course, we're on the Instagram and TikTok. We've been putting a lot of content up lately, so check it all out.
Awesome. Well, Matt Munsey with Monroeville, thank you so much for taking the time to do this. We'll see you July 11th at the Staples Event Center. Again, tickets on sale now at eventbrite.com. Matt, thanks again and enjoy Lafayette while you're here for a change.
Yeah, maybe we'll come in a little earlier and stay a little extra.